there you are. I'm ready to ascend the bridge and speak with Admiral Blowsfiswin. While the Admiral and I are finalising permissionary boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavoured to spread the word of our organisation throughout various channels. I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, it is of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution. Only they are willing to lend their strength when their situation demands. Needn't range into the countryside that the upper deck alone is populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you're satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter where we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. What I also like about this plot is it doesn't cheat. Like, one of the people we recruit goes, you know what, I kind of like the idea, but how are you paying for all this? Because I just don't know where the money's coming from, and maybe you should perhaps consider where the money's coming from. And it turns out, like, at the time, the character seems like he's just being sort of fuddy-duddy. It's like, no, they're all being paid by somebody, and that person has all the money. Is that his name, or is that like just a cat? You know what? I should teleport you. Oh, I keep forgetting to go there. Oh well, guess there's going to be another episode where I don't go there because I only need to go to the after castle. Oh, I've got to go lots of places. Why are you in Tesco? No, what's this? What's that? Little ghost. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, who in bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that dandy Verlaine's door. I don't know who that is. Also, look at the postman. He's a Mughal. Why don't they give them post bags that fit them? They need to get themselves a union. Yes! We were both thinking the same thing. Precursor to the Eorzean, United Eorzean Grand Company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldek and Vermelis keep me close to the forge. I've not the time to be traipsing hither and yon. Why do people say hither and thon? It's hither and thither. Across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armourer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. I do know you, but only because you build shit. If there is one ounce of compassion in you, friend... Okay, hang on. How do I do this quest? This is the hairdresser. Oh, I'm being distracted. Don't be distracted, John. But, I mean, I did just pass the hairdresser, so I should probably deal with him. Oh. Oh, I've still got to do the Aldo one. Never mind. Fair enough. No hairdresser for you. I'll remove a layer. Okay, I should have just used the map. Teleport about. Hello, photo bunny. Do not eat the bunny. Quite the trick. An organisation with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say your proposal intrigues me. The Krakens well know that the time to act and time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter yes. I've got to do this in 3 cities. Oh! Yes, I want this. Yes, good. I won't read this, because it's not main plot. Also, I want to recruit you. Master Alphino's new organisation. Yes, I heard the formation of the trial company was in the offering. It is with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Lominsa must needs receive my full attention. It's also kind of weird that you're even asking me, considering I already have a job, but whatever. Oh, cool. Oh, I should get the culinarians. Bunny hop. I don't have control for 5 minutes. Because it wants me to be trapped here for some reason. It tells me stuff. Okay, thank you. Five minutes might be an exaggeration. Hey, what the trick? No, John? Why did you go there? Bunny hop. Okay. At the anchor yard. Oh, that's people. I should talk. It's real. Well, if it ain't Naive, I've not forgot adventurer brave enough or daft enough to seek out a shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Riol, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes? 3 whistles at Bronze Lake? Aye, it ain't often I drag my arse out of limbs for a drink. I'm glad I did. How fare you these days? You're looking to put together a new crew. Top tier work? Ha! Sounds like a right lark it does. Alright, lass, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into my grave just yet. There we go, we've got a recruit. And we know that guy is on the level because he was in the Company of Heroes, beat the Titan before. There was a Company of Heroes plotline, just awful. It dragged on for ages, but it did serve the purpose of telling me that guy existed. Where is that? I've got to go to the boat. Oh, coast lift. Specifically, nobody likes the Company of Heroes storyline because it's like, oh, we've got to do research on how to defeat Titan, and at first you spend ages with a fake. You have to do chores for him. Then you find the real Company of Heroes, and you're sent on a series of like weird quests, like fetch cheese from a dungeon, and to go up there and talk to that guy and get some wine. And it turns out they were all secretly testing you. But it is also like quite blatantly a series of fetch quests where no plot gets furthered at all. So them coming out and going, oh, it was a big test, you've passed. Just, nobody enjoys that. Okay, sorry. Where are we going? I hate it when it's in these rooms because I never know how to get to them. Wherever that is. Crystal. I ever want to go up or down. Try down. It's called the Crow's Nest, John. It'll be at the top. Yeah, but we can take the lift. It's fine. I have. You're recruiting well, I trust. Curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Lim Salaminta. A member of the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. And you enlisting your aid was the right choice. You could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task, and the Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit to the Elder Seedseer proceeded as smoothly. If you continue to Gridania at your own pace, I shall await you at that place there. Computer games! Where's their quest? Okay, we'll go there. So I'm curious. I'm not being distracted, I'm just briefly curious about just one interaction. Welcome back, Naive. I trust you as moved by the side as I was. Oh yes, I know this one. I don't need to read it. There's you can go. There's a log of places that look pretty, and you can go visit them if you want. Called the sightseeing log. And it'd be nice, but unfortunately, they don't tell you where they are. They just sort of give you clues. And none. The botanists. You know what, I might as well just walk through the gate. Oh, also it's right here. I don't have to meet you first. Our audience with the Elder Seat is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you once more do the stuff you did before. Let us confirm the airship ticket. Okay. Why the airship ticket? I teleport everywhere. Also, yeah, I could have just used this. Yeah, there's a couple up there. Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited. This company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organisation is more organised. Map on job. Here was me worried that I'd get the story done in 2 hours. No, of course not. It always takes longer than I think it's gonna. We would offer this old man a place in. So this guy, his plot was that he's a butler, and his master was secretly a vampire. No, hang on. Well, she was murdering people and drinking their blood to become immortal. He'd been corrupted by like a demon, but like he was disposing of the bodies, and then eventually gets so guilty that he tells us about it. And we go into a dungeon. I don't know why we're asking for his help. He's just a butler. He would offer this old man a place. I'm not. Also, I think like I understand that he didn't want it to happen, but he definitely still technically helped her and probably should be in prison. We should probably offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I'm both puzzled and honoured by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I'm sworn to abide here by whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Now, I know, again, why this is here, because it wants me to just interact with a bunch of old characters. But it's like, they literally have to call out how weird it is for me to offer him a place. But I guess he's somebody I know. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest your tormented back. Gives up for you good. I'm terribly sorry. Oh, no, I have, was it? It's been some time since our paths crossed outside of Coppervale Mines. I genuinely don't remember you, I'm sorry. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer back in those days. But look how far you've come. Mother Miqo'te tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. He was the leader of the army. Now you seek stout-hearted fellows to fill the ranks of a new order. Well, if your cause is undoubtedly just, my old companion here would be just as relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I'll join your company just as soon as I've seen Eorzea safely home. New recruit. Yes, were literally in this room. I could have spoken to her first, whatever. I'll go towards that one. There you are. Here's the prick. So this is Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis, there was a plot really like level 30, and the plot is somebody's secretly giving information to the evil empire. And it turns out it's one of the rangers. He goes, oh, I need the money, and like the rangers don't get paid for the work, and like you do an entire investigation, because nothing in this game is simple. And like, oh, Laurinaitis is spending a lot more money recently. He's out having rich meals. And so eventually, you track him down. You've got to follow him and stuff. You have to fight him, and then you have to fight the empire he's working for. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just gave in to temptation. And so now the plot is that he's done his time. He served his time in prison. And you're like, oh, okay, well, forgive and forget. But no, he's going to betray us because he's a bastard. And I love this plot point because it's like, it's really obvious what should happen. It's only computer game logic that tells you that this guy should be forgiven. Oh gods, can it truly be you? What a fickle fortune. This first face I see upon my release be yours. How could it be you that don't remember me? It is I, Laurinaitis, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Buscaron's. It's, yes, now, no, who? But like, one of the other people we're going to interact with is one of the refugees at Little Alamigo. There's a bunch of kids. I mean, they're 18-year-olds. They're kids. But they're tricked by one of the villains, one of the Kingdom Hearts villains, into summoning a Titan. Into helping summon. Turns out my shopping arrived. So the big problem with... it's not a big problem, but a slight problem with ordering shopping online is that you never know how big the things you're trying to buy are. So, like, I just wanted to fill out £40 worth of stuff because that way you get the delivery for free. And so I accidentally ordered more, the most. So this is going to last me, like, literally my entire life. Like, I'm going to be like, asking people on the street, does anyone want some non-bio? I have... It's literally 5.2 kgs. I've only ever needed to buy the smallest one. Anyway, I don't know how I made that mistake. So what I was saying, basically, a bunch of dumb kids tried to summon a monster because they were tricked by an evil bastard, and we're going to be recruiting one of those as well. But like that's a forgivable offence, and that guy's going to get murdered. It's like, it's going to be real tragic when it happens. And I really like that a bunch of the people you try to recruit are like, yeah, it sounds like you've not really thought this through. Like, people are warning you that this is a stupid thing you're doing and you've not really put enough thought into how this all works. But Laurinaitis, I was selling maps and supplies to the Garleans before you and those red-bellied poachers mopped the forest floor with my erstwhile employers. Here now, just how many criminals have you dealt with that? With my ignominious trail ignites not the slightest flicker of recognition. Less said about my past, the better, I suppose. What of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? What is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, the wood whaler... Like, it's not that he's like a convict. It's that his crime was a crime of greed. He wasn't like, oh, I need to feed my family and that's why I betray. He was eating good, grand lunches. He was a right prick about it, and like, if you're only paying attention, you should know that. I mean, you don't have a choice. The story forces you to recruit Laurinaitis, but he's a really good. I really like him as a villain, though. Like he's not a grand villain. He's a petty fucker. It's a real shame that when you actually get to fight him again, it's a throwaway fight because the story's decided to move on. Wood Laylas have not more to do with me. This may be the second chance I was looking for. Revenant's toll, you say? I shall leave it once. You shall not regret this. I promise you. I am a tint man. I mean, hypothetically, you could save him, right? And he has served his time. but it's still fun to hate him, especially because like somebody, yeah, like there are like a couple of good people that you've accidentally recruited, and I think bad things befall most of them. Damn Laurinaitis. I'm also, I won't lie, predisposed to dislike the name Laurinaitis, because there's a guy that works for WWE called John Laurinaitis, and he used to be the head of talent relation. Also, yes, he was in the news recently because of really awful things him and Vince McMahon did. I'm really hungry as well now. Where the hell is it? Okay, that's why it must have just lied to me. I can't even use it because it's summer and I'm supposed to be saving water. Not that I'd use it like willy-nilly anyway. Do I just not have those areas? I want to go there. Oh no, that's wrong. Why are you pointing me to New Britannia? Well, at least I got it delivered. No, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Top job. A bit tired now, having to carry that in. This is a dumb room. I want to change my pet. Unite. I like the tappy tappy tappy. What news, Naive? For my part, the elder Seedseer was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. The company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. We shall strike into Ulda whilst the iron is hot. Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavour to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Nowhere to go already. To the Chamber of Jarul. Yeah, you're going to do the same thing. I like it, you can jump into a different zone like that. Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. There he is. Poor Wilred, sorry. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't. I'd probably be dead. A whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road. That disaster really got me thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realised how easily I had been manipulated. I vowed to make more of myself than a worldly man. So here I am. New company of champions, and you say it'll take me to all corners of the realm. That sounds exactly like the opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same as stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I shall prepare myself to fight the evil that I know is out there. Why don't we recruit literally all the refugees? They all need jobs and money. Like, we've just spent ages setting that up as a plot. Anyway. I mean, I guess you want seasoned. How am I walking? This is a weird way of doing this. It's Landlebert. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane and know the glorious new company of yours and how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organisation is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. There you go. Smartest person in the room right there. By soldier, cut your ties and run. Your shining company will be naught but a puppet that dances to the syndicate's That's literally what happens, by the way. So, like... Look at this conniving ne'er-do-well. Do you want to join my company? Awesome. Oh, a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I'm Alison, the Church of St. Adama Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. Oh yeah, we thought she was secretly trying to murder children, but it turned out it was someone else. I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. Most upsetting business. You were here with your companion Thancred, wasn't it? There's new companions you seek. Your proposed organisation sounds powerful force for good, but my place is at the Church of the Children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Yeah, the plot was like, well, she seems like too nice. And it's like, no, she's just nice. Someone else who was evil. Oh. I should I should go to the places that are nearby. Hello, Moon. I'm sorry you wish to recruit me. Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting this time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. Who knows why Naive makes these decisions? Company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire. Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next all over, let alone the conundrums of a neighbouring nation. We've got another quest. said, oh, fair enough. What are we doing? Oh. How fared you, Naive? What hidden gems did the streets of Volda offer to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth. Well, that's certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. With these troubled years following the calamity, the talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in those parts of the victories of you yourself have won. Thank you, Naive. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. Yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana has also graced my trial company with her blessings. First wave of recruitment is over, document signed, and the finances secure. There is not to prevent me from taking the next step. Yes, about those finances. You're concerned by the Syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely on outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn the people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. And let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea. No! No, eternally free. I do not want to buy for you. Go away, you. How dare you? Oh. Ban you. The cutscene going on right now. Oh. You have been banned, Robert.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
See, I should have a button that hides text. Though I'm gonna have to remove it anyway.
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the warrior of light would betray our cause.
Warrior.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
I want the person who wrote this storyline to write all the game. I mean, I won't lie, I do also enjoy the nonsense Kingdom Heart plot as well. Not a journey I wish to repeat. Buddy, I had to do that a lot. But I cannot pause the rest. A combination of efforts out at hand, and I must see to the preparations of an inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services. Now I am certain that the antecedent will be relieved to see your face after these duties. Radical harassments, we're not quite done yet. Greetings, Naive. Alphano tells me that the place to begin his trial company, the Scions, will certainly be grateful to have a support of such an organisation. This is what I get for rushing through dialogue. Ceremony is set to take place at the Rising Stone. Satara is cooperating with Alphano to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's told of late. I wonder if Slaffborn might not himself be overwhelmed. To speak with him to see if there's all he requires. And I'll resist the urge to teleport and just walk out. Also, the next expansion pack goes from 50 to 60, and I'm going to be like 55 before I get there. Which would be good, because I don't want to do any quests apart from the mainline quests. But also, it means I'm always slightly too strong for all the quests. What can I do for you, Naive? I thought your hands full helping out with the new arms of the Scions. Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrive. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters that we pass through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, it is more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. That part on the shipment we couldn't. Gods, woman, what befell? We're bringing a shipment of Revenant Soul, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. Just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take a rest, and I have someone along to tend those wounds. What to do? Heretics are involved. Then this be more like a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. So Ishgard is elf medieval France. Whence did these supplies originate? House IV Temps. We collected provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. We shall see that they are praised of this development. Naev, you were not on good terms with the Knights. Were you not on good terms with the Knights of IV Temps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course. I would also have you travel there, offer your considerable talents. The one thing that does come from the crossover of this plotline to the next one is the dude at House IV Temps is the person that takes us in after the fallout of this plotline, and so like when you start the next storyline, you're sort of you're in his debt. You're like, no, he's our favourite person in the world at that point. Yes, I realise I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favourable relations with Ishgard far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for understanding. I am certain Lord Orshafant, sorry, I never remember his name, will be glad for your assistance. A little bit tired. Is it one of these buildings? Well, if it isn't my fine friend Iavel Tyrion, would you care for a plate of roast caracol and some mulled wine? No? I see you've not come into my home merely to escape the biting cold. I was in fact on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant Soul. I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. Ooh, I get myself... nothing. I get nothing. Thanks, game. My favourite.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest.
So there are 3 countries in this, that we've been dealing with, but the 4th country is much bigger, i.e. it's an entire expansion's worth of country. So big that, this bit of the world is sort of outside of it. It's an actual country-sized country rather than a city-state. And so, yeah.
Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurth's soil.
So the other thing is, the Kurth is the big fight against the Empire. These guys weren't involved. They have their own problems with dragons. They're like, nope, we don't want to have a big war with an empire. Thank you very much. We know you need us, but we have our own problems. But it also means they're not involved in any of the normal political things going on between the 3 nations.
Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House IV Tom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
Yes.
Hallone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long.
So yeah, I think it was level 40 to level 50. It's actually one of the more interesting storylines of the original game, but it has nothing to do with the rest of the game as well. Like you only come to the zone because you're looking for a spaceship, and you just can't get it back until you've sorted all of their problems. But their problems is that this guy, there is an Inquisitor going around going, "You're a heretic, burn that guy, he's a heretic," and it turns out that guy was a heretic. But like we have to do an entire investigation to figure that out. I mean, it's pretty obvious immediately. But like it was a dragon in disguise, and he murdered the original Inquisitor. But also, when the dragon dies, he goes, maybe you shouldn't have somebody in charge of just letting people be murdered, like just by pointing at them. Maybe your entire system is actually kind of fucked up. Haha, fuck you, and he just dies like that. And it's like, yeah, dragon has a point. The fact that the Inquisitors have such powers is like definitely a bad thing.
Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
I've met their Pope as well, and I'm pretty sure he's evil. I suspect he's evil because he's a Pope, and why would you have a Pope in a Final Fantasy game who wasn't evil? Although the Pope in Final Fantasy XII wasn't evil, so who knows. I'm pretty but all signs point to the dragons sort of not actually being evil, and the war being a bit, bad. Oh, I've got to fly there. Right, I'll be right back. Just grab a couple of things. I think you've got to sit down. Right, it says there are a few people here now, so I better go on with it. I love that man. I want that man. How do I get that man? I have about 20 minutes, so if I try and minimise all faff, I might be able to finish this particular plotline. I'd like to do that. And it's 2 quests, When the Cold Sets In and Revenue Companions. I could do that in 20 minutes. Ooh, hello, Ampler. Then I've got to watch some One Piece with my brother. Who am I forced to watch One Piece? I mean, I could probably be like 5 minutes late, it's fine, but still. The King Rat must die. Yes. We've got a rat problem, and if nothing's done about it now, we shall... Hang on, is this the right quest? Okay, I don't care about that quest. Or is that the quest? No, it's not. I just... Oh, it's this goddamn room. Okay, well, we'll drop that quest when I can... Minimise faff, did you just say? Have you seen my terrifying eye bat? Don't know why I got off it. Got another ball to go. Got them all. Oh god, did I do the right one? On the trail of some thieving heretics, you say? By the fury, you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, 'tis a sad truth the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning and are canny enough to evade most of our able trackers. But 'tis not merely their own newfound organisation that confounds us. Heretics themselves. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervour. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Perhaps you care to question one of their recent victims. Fate would have it, your arrival came moments after the trader was waylaid on the road. Patrol came, found most unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. What is this quest here? Our stewing dare is in your debt. Rejoice to know the Battle of Stone Virgil has finally begun. That's what. Oh, cool. Yep, cool. This is another dungeon. I want that as well. Be nice to have a bunch of dungeons to queue for. I'll do that next stream. Not now. I'm trying to do stuff. How do I get out of this room? Oh, there we go. I appreciate this is only a thing that happens because you're trying to rush through a game. But it's like, tell me where the map symbol is. No, I always do this. It's underneath. Oh, I know what that noise is. Yeah. Where is it? It's not in here. Who the heck am I looking for? Well, it's something in the infirmary, isn't it? I don't know where that is. Oh, yes, yes. I think you find it's legally distinct from a beholder. Upstairs, isn't it? Okay. Tell you what, it's an evil eye. I tell you what happened. Why, yes, of course, I quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly blackguards. Sorry. I was travelling my usual route to White Brim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. Yeah, it is blackguard. What am I thinking? The next thing I knew, I was on the ground. Several heretics were rifling through my cargo, arms, armour, crystals, and they were taking everything. It was one of them that noticed my bleary gaze, stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Turn to Snowcloak." I dare say it was, you know, we live in the snow, so that could have been bloody anyway. Hauling my goods, you will not catch me rushing off in pursuit. It was a miracle I survived at all. I will not trust my thick skull to save me the second time. Need to get a wizard hat from Balthazar. Oh yes, there's combat in this game. No crocodile specifically from Final Fantasy XII. See you, knight. Fighting these crocs. I did the thing. Oh, your weapons foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You come seeking heretics. We share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them corners in this ravine, yet they've gone, vanished like icy wraiths. You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall. Some hidden tunnel escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be for the best. We were returned to White Rim Front. We asked suspicions before Lord Drillamon. Drillamon! I'll catch them all. Yes. That's not a bird. I was thinking a bunch of things, and therefore not talking. I could have thought those things out loud. Sometimes I review my thoughts before saying things. There was nothing wrong with the thought. It's just that then I'd have to effectively think of it twice. It appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. and they should have be best so handily. I fear should have. Yes. I fear I have woefully underestimated threats the heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask you to put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost for now. It would be ill-advised to plunder unprepared in what very well might be the lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Halshafar of your discoveries. We will plan contingencies of his own. For Iceheart and her fanatics, these heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. I'll be right back, like literally seconds. Right, I said seconds, and it was slightly longer than I thought it was going to be, but had it been hours, it would have still been seconds, just, you know, a whole lot of them. Anyway. Oh, I do have to do a thing. I have to set an alarm for 35 minutes. There we go. That is done. Lovely. I have a horrible feeling I'm not going to be able to finish this in time, but it's fine. I have 9 minutes. Ish. I've got 5 minutes. I've got some leeway.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
Enough.
Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
We are still on the quest. Hopefully this is the last. Oh, stop it. Yes, we will not meet Iceheart until the next chapter. But I already do know this plot as well. She's going to become Shiva. Because the same way this good King Mogulmog, if there's enough belief and enough magical crystals, you can create new gods. Yeah, it is good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Coerthus? Healthful Temps has sent us to a second shipment. I must send thanks to the Lord Halshafal for his continued generosity. But even as the town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who seek to do us harm. In the name of the greed of power, all of us, Alphanos, new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. Thank you for all of these things that aren't for me. Game, I'll take the silver piece, I guess. We have new companions there! No, we're our namesake! And finally, an item that I can wear. Coif. Coif that is not as good as the coif that I'm wearing. Yeah! I'm tempted just to take this wizard's hat instead. I mean, I can't take it yet. While you were away in Coerthus, preparations have been for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, though Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. You've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head back to the stones and see what she wants? Okay. Even if I have to end now, it's officially close enough to the end. But it would be nice. Maybe this is a short quest. It's never a short quest. These parchments need to be sorted. These documents, why are they even here? Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Oh, Knives, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered down the Revenant's Toll, and haven't had time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. If you want to report directly to Alphino, if you don't want to miss the ceremony, one of the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. They've all got that little item on them, apart from me. Well-funded organisation is a well-dressed organisation, I suppose. Sorry, I can't see any of them. There's Willard. Stupid Willard. Amigo could learn much from Revenant Soul. This town could be so alive in the midst of such desolation. There you go, there's your uniform. Never worn quite so comfy. I'm sure Gro got accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Yeah. I have Voltarian gods. I did not expect to meet you strolling about the town. Tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. There you go, there's your uniform. It's an honor to receive this uniform from your hand. I shall wear it with pride. Scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hearty defender of Limsa Lominsa, yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm. With this new company I find an opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh! Now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for colour. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilberd, and I have the honour of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and look forward to aiding the others in rebuilding their lives. Uniforms are a shrewd decision, and there is no easier method of creating common bonds among what is essentially a band of strangers. Yes, that's a clever line, yes. That is provably correct. Isildur, as last retired from an adventurous life, though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I'm excited to forge my own path forwards. Yes, the uniform, thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to a lofty organisation is somewhat intimidating. Hello, why aren't you captain? Hey there, at last, looking for me, were you? I'd just given a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst the bustle. Ooh, proper uniforms. So I've been watching somebody play Zero Escape 2, Virtue's Last Rewards, and the oh-ho is something they say, but they always spell it as two words, oh-ho, instead of oh-ho. Proper uniforms. This thing will cut off the blood to my head. Not to worry though, I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future, so I did sign my name to the cause. My eye on you. This uniform is a splendid idea. Once our organisation has made a name for itself, there should be a wealth of plenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. I thought best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, what are they doing? Oh, new uniforms. I've amended my induction into the Wood Whalers. You can see clearly now the rain's gone. Okay. Just an area to set up a pun. Oh, it's 3 PM. Yeah, I'll tell him. He's usually late as well. And I've just finishing up. Won't. And Tattoo mentioned that you were handing out new uniforms. I assumed you've met the rest of the recruits. So if you answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such, we are not yet an army, but there's much small core of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention the thought of the name of the company? It is my hope that it shall be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, and I have once at last the recruits have gathered, I shall make an official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one.
Fractured, you said a strange way. Yay!
Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus, does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come! Take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
Yeah! Oh, we've got our own salute. Did we choose that salute? Each of the companies have a different salute.
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
I also like that they give him a slightly silly name. Because
the Scions stand ready.
It better hides what's going to happen. Happy buddy. Have I finished the Brave New Companions? That would be awesome.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions.
Oh no, there's at least one more cutscene.
Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle, Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Eorzea. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Yeah, okay. That is, I think, the chapter complete. And only 6 minutes over time. Done. It's complete, right? Don't make me do another. Oh no! Well, I was wrong. And then the next one will be the next the next update, which is the Lady Iceheart update, the Shiva update. Each of the updates had a summon basically you had to fight. Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that the shipment is spared the fate of the last. And I think I can finish it today. I think it's Lady Iceheart, and then it's the final update. I don't remember what the boss is for that one. Windsor, and then it's whatever the expansion's called, Heaven's Sword. And I probably should just not play Heaven's Sword until another free weekend. The winds are uncommonly fierce this day. Yeah, 6 minutes was kind of polite, but like we're pushing on impolite times here. I didn't expect another cutscene to happen immediately. I could have just not spoke to her, you know? It would have been fine. It's the Pope! Come on, look at him. He's probably evil. Just imagine how fucking uncomfortable it is to have the armor. What's it called? Oh, I mean, he's got an evil person by his side. 2 evil people. They might be invisible, yeah. Yeah, they are. But does he know they're there? Imagine how uncomfortable it is to have chainmail that goes on your ears. On your elfy ears. Right. New chapter of New Game Plus has been added. That means, yeah, Eorzea defended. I'm done. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to be quick about it. Thank you very much for watching this game. I've been having a Final Fantasy, a Realm Reborn adventure. It's a part of my, you know, my ambition of completing all the Final Fantasy games. Even the weird side games that probably don't count, apart from like the 11th one or possibly Crystal Chronicles. Pretty sure some of these games would be impossible or be a headache to stream. I'll see how I feel about them when I get to those particular games, I guess. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. I've got to go. Farewell. Goodbye. I'm gonna wait for the snail to pass. I need the outro time. But I can't make the snail go any faster. And thank you for joining.